how I pick music. And first, Dan touched on this. You know, the NewSong service is not just off in space doing whatever we feel like doing. It actually does follow the order of service, and the traditional service follows. A lot of you already know that. And but we just are more casual about it. And so each Sunday, I have 10 songs to pick out. That's including a pre-worship song, a welcome song, song of praise, song of the day, an offering song. I usually pick about 3 communion distribution songs because I never know if we're going to need all of them or not. A sending song and a post-worship song. And first of all, I'm going to give you a very short little history of NewSong service as it relates to music selection and song choices. When we started about 10 years ago, the band looked and sounded quite different than we do today. For the first couple of years, it was very transient in its membership, and we had people come in and go, and we were still trying to figure out even how the whole service worked. There was lots of changes every week. Every month, I should say, because we started out with just a monthly service
On Saturday.
on Saturday nights, yeah, and we would change, and it would change even just the way we were facing in there. We never knew where Kurt was going to put the altar. He was just trying everything out, and so. And now we have, probably about 7 or 8 years ago, we had people come in that have stayed with the band, and now we have kind of a core band. There's about 7 or 8 of us that have been playing with each other for 7 or 8 years. And at first we knew about 6 songs. So that first service, 2 of the songs we had to sing twice. So we have enough music. So the post and pre-worship songs were the same as what we were singing in the service itself. And so I've had to try and add songs as we've gone along. It's gotten harder, more difficult to learn songs once we've gotten more members and we've split into 2 bands. Because I've recently changed that this year. Now we quarterly have a special 2-hour practice where we're just learning about 4 or 5 new songs, because it got to the point where I was teaching it to 2 different bands and they were changing things and doing it because it's very organic. It's not like I go in there and say, okay, this is how it's going to be. We're going to sing it verse 1, chorus, verse 2. It's very much, we kind of wind our way through the song as we're learning it, and we change it up as we're going along to fit what we need and what's going to fit our service and our own talents and stuff. So if we can't do it, we don't do it that way. We do it differently. And so now it's been about 10 years, and we have about 160 songs now that we know in our repertoire. And that includes Christmas songs and even secular songs, even some Beach Boy songs.
Yes.
So you never know when you might need one for a service. So before I get ahead of myself, I want to explain the basics of what I do in choosing the songs for a worship service. I start, as Dan does, with the Sunday in Seasons, this little book here, and it gives you every Sunday in the year, and it tells you what the readings are for that Sunday and what the theme is, and it has some readings in there, and it even has song selections. It has main song selections and alternate song selections and song selections for children's choirs and for handbells and for praise bands. So I first sit down, I try to do it about a month at a time, do 4 Sundays at a time. And I sit down, I do all the readings for that Sunday, and sometimes a phrase will jump out at me and it'll trigger me to remember a song that we do that has that same phrase and stuff. So I'll write that down, and I kind of get my list, and then I go into plugging them in. And what I do is trying to make the songs fit the theme of that day. And I'm like Dan, I don't try and follow the psalm or anything like that. I go straight to the message, and I want it to enhance what we're hearing that day. And like Dan said, that people sometimes don't hear the word when the preacher's talking. They hear it when they're singing the songs, and they get a light bulb moment, So I just try and make sure that we're in line with what we're going to be reading about, learning about that day. And I also say a little prayer, helping. I figure that can't hurt. He's going to, get me to pick the right song, but somebody needs to hear it that Sunday. The sources for songs. I said earlier that it's easier now to pick songs because I have more songs to choose from. And over the years, I've looked for music through several sources. My criteria in picking songs for the band to learn are that it has to have a message that someone needs to hear. It has to be easy enough to sing along to. It can't be too complex, or no one's going to sing with us. And it has to be appealing, or what I think is appealing to most people. So sometimes we also will change a word or the beat or the arrangement of the song as we're going along. And that, like I said, just happens as we're practicing the song and learning it for the first time. And sometimes we change it because I'll get bored with how we do it, so I'll change it up again. One place I look for music is simply the songs that I grew up singing at my church, and I grew up as a Baptist. So a lot of the songs that I grew up singing are real, old gospel kind of songs, and like Softly and Tenderly, Jesus is Calling, Amazing Grace, Blessed Assurance, Leaning on the Everlasting Arms, things like that. I Surrender All. And sometimes I like doing those songs with a little NewSong twist to it. Like we do Amazing Grace with kind of a Cajun kind of beat to it. So I like to switch it up a little bit, so it's not, too expected. So then we sing and hear the words more. Another place for music ideas are from my other band members or from people in the congregation. I'll have people come up to me with song ideas a lot. And so I get a lot of ideas from other people. In fact, I'll Fly Away and Long Black Train. Those are two songs we do that came from other people. I didn't pick those songs. Another thing I'm always doing is listening to Christian radio, and I listen to Spirit on 5.3 all the time, like I always have. And when a song is playing and it has a good beat, or I really like the words or anything, I will immediately go to their website and see if I can pull it up, because they have a situation on their website where it gives you the last songs played, and some of the songs they'll have lyrics for it, and they'll have the actual music. You can purchase it. If I can't find it there, I'll go to just online and I will Google the song title and chords. And sometimes all I have are the lyrics and the chords. I don't have actual music, which Corey has gotten really good at. He had to have the music when he first started playing with us. And now he's gotten way good because I don't always have the music for him at just kind of making it up. So here are the chords, Corey, just make it up. Play the melody or something like that. So we're lucky to have him. Another thing I'll do, the places online that I go to a lot are ultimateguitar.com and Cordy.com. They have good selection of music, and the chords are right there. So I go to them a lot. Another online source, more traditional, perhaps it would be CCLI. And the church pays for a subscription for Song Select, which is a program that allows you to go online, and it's got all these songs in their database, and you can search by song title or by artist, and you'll get lots of hits. And then on each of those songs, they'll either have, sometimes all they have is the song title. Sometimes they'll have the lyrics only. Sometimes you get an audio of it, so you can actually hear it playing, and you can change the key of it, hear it in a different key. And so I'm doing that a lot because I'm trying to get it into a key where most of us can sing it. So CCLI I use a lot. That's a really good source. And then also we've taken songs or just secular songs, like I'm a Believer or Let It Be, and just change the a few words in that. Because and I like doing tunes like that because people will know the tune, and then I think because we change some of the words, it gets them to listen to the words more closely too.
Do you have to worry about that, doing that?
No, our hymns are like that too. We have Danish sing songs. We have a lot of our are that way too. So it's not a bad thing. It's
Right, and it's not
been doing that way for years.
Yeah, I didn't make it up. It's,
No,
they
I
do it
just
all the time.
curious if you have to worry about people.
I want you to know my brother-in-law does something like yours, very small, and came into your service and thought it was just absolutely wonderful.
That's good.
Yeah, we live down in Oregon. So.
Oh, good. We try to make it entertaining and maybe entertaining is not the right word, but because we're not on stage, it's not like we're up there to entertain people, but we try to make it so that it's somewhere they're going to want to come back to, and they're going to want to hear that again, and they're going to want to hear what the pastor has to say, and they're gonna wanna sing more songs and come back. And so I guess just to wrap it all up, one of the things that I enjoy most about being part of NewSong Band is picking the music, because I really feel like it really helps set the tone of each Sunday, and I like being a part of that, and it's very fulfilling to me. So that's all. That's all I have. Questions? Anything?
You also, as Jody was saying, that maybe should write something in our intercom about the service, so that some other people that don't know anything about the service want to go over and see what it's like.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah, it is.
Well, I'm glad that you settled. I thought you picked all the music for Brian so he could sing it. Just kidding. Do you participate in like larger groups, like within the synod or within ELCA or other that are doing what you're doing?
You know,
Is there such a thing?
I don't know. You know, we haven't
Like a
done-
conference?
Yeah, I don't know. We haven't. I know that we have. I think I'm just going to talk to you about children's choir and how she picks music, right?
Sure.
I'm going to answer this question first.
Okay.
So, no, we don't. But we have done other things like where we've kind of in conjunction with the youth singers over at Good Shepherd. A couple of years ago, we did. They do what's it called? Fool's Night Out. Yeah. Right before.
On April Fool's.
Yeah, April Fool's Day. They stay out all night.
I see.
And go and have fun, do skating, bowling, breakfast, and they start out with a little worship service. And so we went over there and we kind of got together with their group and did something for the kids.
But there's nothing within our synod that encourages NewSong, i.e. groups, to jam together and learn
Yeah.
from each other, a workshop, i.e.
Yeah, that'd be really cool.
That would be cool.
Okay, Kim can't say this, but I can. I don't know if you guys know it, but like our NewSong band is like a leader band or a band that people in our synod look up to and look to for leadership and ideas and.
So you
and
need to
how
put
do
one
it
on.
and how-
I didn't know that.
And
Pressure's on.
how to do contemporary worship and how to make it work and how to have that be liturgical, because even though there's not the traditional liturgy, that all those components are in that service and that's intentional.
Yeah.
And Kim's awesome.
No, I just wanted to compliment you and the rest of you on the phenomenal growth of that service over the last 10 years since it's happened, you know, from I would guess modest attendance to now overflowing.
A
Yeah, like
dozen maybe?
5 people. Yeah,
Yeah.
Betty was.
But it, you know, we sing in a choir, so we rarely get there, but it's phenomenal, and you are to be greatly praised for what you've done.
I wanted to add to that, as somebody who's been there from the beginning, Kim, you've just done an amazing thing.
Thank you.
You really are.
I didn't know what I was doing, so.
In the Middle East, they have a group like that too, and it has 700 people that
Oh
come
my
to
gosh.
it. Yeah, it's the biggest of all
Awesome.
the ones in the Anglican church.
Uh-huh.
But they have taken the part where you, like, our children now are over there on that side where they have that kind of thing to do. And it's a band and and people from all over the world
Yeah.
that live in the Middle East go to that service.
That's really cool.
So,
Can you tell me how much time the group spends, the band spends? But, you know, you have 1 hour of service approximately, but how many hours during the week are you guys?
Well, we practice on Mondays for 2 hours, and it's every other week for everybody else. I mean, I'm there every week because I'm running the show, but they're on 2 different teams, blue team and red team, and so they only practice the Monday before the Sunday they're going to sing. So they have every other week off. So, but 2 hours, and then plus those special quarterly 2-hour practices just to learn new music.
But that's not including the planning time that.
Oh yeah.
Right, and
Yeah.
you talked about that, and then probably the practice time individuals.
Yeah,